Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of TiltTrek. We're glad you could join us. On our very first episode, Andy Bagwell asked me, hey, when are you going to make it up to Disc 82? The answer is today. We're up here at Disc 82 in beautiful Greenbay, Wisconsin, in order to join them for their Tiltin' Tuesdays. Tiltin' Tuesday is their every other Tuesday tournament, which is what this place is all about. It's all about tournaments and building champions. So join us while we go in where pitheads enter. All right, welcome to District 82 and all of its glory. It's the beginning of tournament night, so let's see if we can walk around and actually see what games we have here.
Everything. Yeah,
We're going to start off with a quick run by and name off the key ones as we see them as we go by. We've got a tournament going on, so watching people play Whirlwind, we don't want to interfere with that. We're going past an Iron Maiden. They're in the middle of playing on post time next to Championship Pub, Earthshaker, Iron Man. We've got a Tommy, a Robot War, a No Fear, a Trident, and a Walking Dead.
All right, well, you get to play your last ball.
Get a High Deal sitting next to Circus Voltaire and a Barracuda. Flintstones, Hollow Globetrotter, Judge Dredd and Volley, Star Trek, Alien Poker.
I love them. I love Trek.
People playing Paragon. F-14 and a South Park. Continuing our walkthrough, we've got a Fishtails, Magic, Sonic, and an X-Man. Terminator 3 with a beautiful Vector. We'll get in that other room next. Fireball and Jurassic Park. They are doing their broadcast that you can see everywhere. So people can see how they're doing. Got a hot dog in. It's currently being streamed. And we can see a Godzilla, Stars, Wheel of Fortune, and Mouse Around, one of the games that started it all for this place. So we walk into the next room. See an Indy 500. Classic car. Jackpot people are playing. As well as a Demolition Man. Hot Hand, they're in the middle of playing on Deadpool. Flight 2000 and a Mustang, a Dolly, Twilight Zone, and a Flash Gordon. Let's see, match plays full in work. Telling everybody where to be next. Game of Thrones and a Kiss. Doctor Who. Star Wars, Spanish Eyes, next to a Guardians, a roller coaster, an 8-ball champ, playing memory lane on the end.
It's like he's got off with it. I don't even care.
Wildfire. You're fine. Battling it out on Tron. DMX. But wait, there's more. There's our friend. We get to head on up towards the front, in which there are 2 more rooms of pinball.
Oh, I guess it lights up for him.
Got a group playing in this room. Trip Strike. Spider-Man. Hi guys.
How's it going?
Very good. And then across the hallway, we're going to try to not interfere too much with everybody. Let me go ahead and look. Their collection of over 115 great games here at Disc 82. I can't tell you how excited we are to be in here, but from what I understand, you are the man. You are everything that is Disc 82.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I do own it.
Okay. So a lot of people own things, but
Yeah.
you're more than just the owner, right?
Yeah, so District 82, I'm definitely the owner. I'm also the maintenance guy, the cleanup guy, the event planner, tournament director. I play in all the events, and I just really love pinball, and I enjoy doing it.
Wow. So a one-man shop for how many games are in here? 100?
115 right now, I think is what we have in here.
115 games.
Yeah.
All being maintenance predominantly by you or by you?
Yeah, by me. I mean, I do have some help as far as volunteers that'll check people in, things like that. I have like one other maintenance guy that'll help during a giant event. But as far as the day-to-day and everything else, that's just me fixing it up.
So how does a man end up owning, I mean, this warehouse or this building is huge. I mean, I see garage doors here that could pull a truck into.
Yeah.
I mean, how does a man end up with a warehouse full of phenomenal games in this building?
Yeah.
How's that happen?
Well, I guess we got to rewind like 10, 12 years.
Okay.
And when I bought my first pinball machine.
Okay.
Right? So, I mean, I guess even further back, I played pinball when I was a kid. I really liked it. And then once you become an adult, adulting gets in the way where you have to get a job and make money and things like that. And I kind of got away from it. And then once I moved to Wisconsin, a dozen or so years ago, with my wife, I just happened to see a pinball machine in a local bar here and played a couple games on it, and I was like, wow, it feels like forever since I've done this, and I really enjoyed it. And then I started researching it a little bit, and I said, hey, I'd like to own a pinball machine to my wife, and she was like, okay, that's fine.
Little
So
did
then-
she know.
Yeah, so then being me, I took like 3-4 months researching it. I found the Mr. Pinball, I bought the price guide, all these things, and I'm researching, what games cost and what they go for and stuff. And I finally found one, and went over to the guy's house, and he just happened to have 2, and he sold them both to me,
Wow.
for one price. And so when I brought them home, she was like, well, I said you could buy one, why is there 2? And I said it was 2 for 1.
I mean, you can't pass by a
Yeah,
deal.
I couldn't-
You'd be losing money.
Yes.
For that.
So I had like 30 in the house, and eventually, it kind of stuck with that. I couldn't really fit any more in, and then we started having league and stuff over there, and eventually I got permission to move out of the house.
So
and get a
permission,
warehouse.
was it?
It was a gentle nudge.
It was.
And then we would have league at the house, and she would actually take the kids and go get a hotel because we were all loud.
Wow, wow.
And I still really liked doing it. And I was like, I think I could, just rent a space. And all I looked at was what rent cost at the time. And I was like, well, I just have to do, a couple of nights a month, and it would be fine.
Because you are open only a couple nights a month, or how does that? Because your hours are really something. So talk me through that.
So my hours are sporadic, right? Or it seems sporadic. So when we first started out, it was every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday, and I'm still doing that.
And we're here on a Tuesday for Tilton Tuesday.
Yeah, for Tilton Tuesday. Now at the time it was league when we first started out, and then I would do one tournament a month on a weekend, and that was it. I was not open to the public. It was you had to sign up, and it was usually by email back and forth. And I would put an ad on Craigslist. If you were on Pinside, I would find a radius search, send you a note, to try to find people, and then also on different websites. And I was IFPA right from the start as far as doing tournaments. But that was it. And I did that for almost 2 years, or a year and a little bit more. And I had no idea, about zoning laws or capacities or all these other things that later on came into play. And we just had half of this place at the time, and we were up to like 50 something games, 55 games, and getting 60, 70 people in the one side. And we only had the one bathroom. And eventually just a long story, the city was here, said, you don't have enough bathroom capacity. You're actually not zoned for an assembly. You're zoned for semi-truck storage.
Okay.
And that's why this all looks this way. And so I had to go from the zoning board, get it rezoned. And I got this second space that had a second bathroom, so now I could have the capacity. And then once I got the second half, I was like, oh boy, sky's the limit on pinball machines now. So I just I would probably add about 2 games a month in. And because I'm the one who was fixing them up, I was buying them mostly not working and then shopping them out, and then I could afford it, because I didn't really have extra money. Like all the money was going towards rent and utilities, and then that just started inching up higher and higher and higher, especially when I got the second half, and then we started playing a lot, and that's kind of where it just kind of grew.
And then so you're open on the weekends, and then you're a flat pay location, correct?
Yep. Yeah, so you pay a flat fee for whatever day it is, and then you play as much as you want for the whole day. You get a wristband, and you play the whole day. If it's a tournament, we usually don't have a wristband because everybody's on the list, and then no one's walking in off the street. But when I'm open to the public on Fridays and Saturdays, you get a wristband, and you just play the whole day.
But you're not open on the weekends in the summer.
Right, in the summer.
How did you become such a hub for tournaments, especially as a one-guy shop? How does this all connect?
Well, here's where I think it all came from. So we were doing well, right, prior to COVID. Because COVID is like where everything ended and started over again with everything in life, it seems like, especially cheap prices of stuff. And so we were doing well. We were also called Titletown Pinball.
That's right.
Totally different name.
And that changed right around COVID.
That changed right at COVID because the Packers got the trademark for the word Titletown and sent me the cease and desist and the attorneys, and they would not budge. So we did lots of creative things to stay legal, but we kept doing tournaments. Okay, and then Tom Graff was streaming. Okay, at the time, and we did a couple of just like, remember we did a pin skins tournament with just 4 of us, and just to broadcast it, to tell people, hey, there's still people playing pinball out here, because there was nothing. Like the pinball scene was dead, and I couldn't get any traction with the IFPA to open up again, because everybody around said, no, it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous, it's too dangerous, everyone's gonna die, and so I was like, it's not, like let's play some pinball again, and I kept pushing to get tournaments going, and eventually we started getting some traction, and I was gently nudged by some other people to start putting prize money in tournaments.
Okay.
I did all the tournaments that were geared towards local people and no or very little prize money. And Travis Murray was one of the ones who said put some money in it, and then just charge the people the extra money, for the prize pool. And then we started doing that, and Travis actually came here up from Oklahoma, and was amazed at it and started promoting it. And then we started getting some bigger names to come, like Raymond Davidson came up. He was the #1 pinball player in the world. And then we just started getting some more and more names. And then everybody would go back and actually talk about it on their podcasts or on their whatever. And then with Tom broadcasting tournaments, it just all came together and everyone was seeing what it was. Okay, so then we did that for a little while, and then IFPA opened back up again, and then we had the Pinball Super Series in October of 2021.
Okay.
And IFPA just opened back up in August, and that kind of blew everybody away. We did 6 tournaments over 4 days, back to back to back to back, and nobody had done really any pinball for a couple of years, and then everyone loved it. They all went back to their respective, states or whatever, and just talked about it a lot. Tom broadcast. Everything that I've done here has been like knockout or match play or something like this, where right from the start, you are playing against other players. So you're always in a 4-player group or a 3-player group. You're meeting people, you're saying hi. It's not you playing a game by yourself and you put up a score and you go back and sit down and you wait in line and you go do it again and sit down. No, that's why we got 100 pinball machines. We can have 100 people in here, all playing at the same time, and everyone has a good time and they're socializing, and not just trying to put up, an obscene score in a game so they can qualify to get the finals. Everybody wants to qualify to get the finals.
Sure,
but
of course.
We're doing it in a manner to which you're playing against other people. And then when we have the big name players here, you might actually just be playing them right from round 1. You don't know. The computer's going to match you up, and you see how you do, and it's a thrill. I know it's been a thrill for me to play against the best players in the world and see what they do. And it's just, everybody can see it online and stuff, but it's different when they're standing there in front of you, and just these little movements that they do just to try to pick up on these techniques, and just in awe at how they saved that ball, when I would have lost that one.
So the real question is, we know why you switched from Titletown.
Yeah.
What does Disc 82 mean? Is it a secret?
It's kind of a thumb in the eye of the Packers, but it's also a cool sounding name. So first, it's a cool sounding name.
Cool
right?
sounding name,
Okay.
absolutely.
I also had, Greenbay Pinball as a backup, and I immediately grabbed that name for everything. But I knew we were starting to transition to bigger stuff, right? And I didn't want it to be Greenbay Pinball just because it's just like, oh, I'm going to Green Bay to play pinball. District 82, the Packers took it for Titletown District. Okay, I knew they couldn't trademark the word district. At the time, I had 82 pinball machines here. And District 82 Pinball. It seems very. That's what it was, and that name was available. So I grabbed it, and I just thought it sounded really cool. And I didn't want it because I didn't know where we would go with this. And so, like, District 82 means nothing, right? So as long as I took something like that and turned it into, it could mean whatever it is. And now it's synonymous with tournament pinball.
Absolutely.
And as soon as you say District 82, everyone's like, okay, it's tournament pinball,
So are you a Whopper farm?
By every definition, yes. Absolutely. This is we do I think over 100 tournaments a year, and they're mostly all big, like every one of them.
And so how do you feel when you hear the words, oh, they're a Whopper farm up there?
I feel awesome about it.
Okay.
If you want to say we're the place, then that's fine. I realize a lot of people are doing that as a negative connotation, but in all reality, it's fun. I love it. And anyone can do it. But it's a lot of work. You just have to do it. And no matter what they, call it or say or anything else, it's like we have a large amount of people that get together on a regular basis to play pinball. And if that's what a Whopper farm is, let's go to a Whopper farm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Eric, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. This is fantastic. I look forward to hopefully playing a little bit tonight and meeting some of the other cast of characters from around here.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Please visit our sponsor, Comet Pinball. Comet Pinball has what you need to make your dim machines look better than new. They have the largest selection of bulbs from the exotic to the mundane, and even their exclusive matrix lighting system, which makes it easy to boldly add lighting where no lighting has gone before. Visit cometpinball.com. We're tickled to death to play with you because you're the #1 girl in the world, and at what age did this happen at?
17. Actually, I think I was 15 when I first took the team, but currently I'm 17.
So as a young lady, how do the guys of the sport react to such a young woman beating them on a regular basis? Or how did they react when you were first that kid who walked in the place at 12 years old and then start beating them?
Well, I think at first everyone was just kind of shocked, when no one had heard of me before, and I would just walk in and blow games them. I think everyone just was like, this doesn't make sense. Like, what's going on? How have you not heard of her? Whatever. But once people started to know me and I started to be really consistent in my playing, I think people started to, just have a lot of respect for me. And I've had a lot of people tell me now that, when they see they have to play me, they actually think, oh, I have a challenge. And they like that. They see me and they just, like I said, they respect me, and really they don't treat me any differently than they treat other guys, I think.
Okay. Are you done with high school then?
I am, yes.
Okay.
I graduated high school early when I was 16.
So you graduated high school early on top of that.
Correct.
So not only can you beat us physically, you're now beating us mentally. All right. But no, do you think pinball helped you with your studies? Did it interfere with your studies?
So, honestly, I think the way that it helped me the most, because it did help me, I'm pretty sure, comes down to note-taking. So, when I was about 13, I became really interested in learning the rules of the game, what's the best strategy, what shots do what, and things like that, what do I stack. And, it's just pretty common knowledge that taking notes increases your chances of remembering something. And so I just figured okay, well, I'm going to start writing these things down because I don't want to forget them. It takes a lot of time and research to figure these things out. So I started writing down everything, every little thing. I have still I don't even know how many notebooks, pinball notes. And now I'm taking college classes. I can see that I'm obsessed with note taking now. I have so many notebooks filled with everything, every school subject. And I wasn't like that when I was younger, but once I started seeing how it was helping me play pinball better, I just figured I'm gonna have to start doing this more in school, just writing things down. So yes, I think it has helped me.
So if another dad was at home and his daughter was beating him either consistently or some of the time, would you encourage young girls to follow this path and use it as a way of actually would you encourage young girls to get into this? And if so, why?
Absolutely. Pinball, it's helped me in so many ways. It's just fun. It's just good fun. Having a bad day or something, when you play pinball, you're going to be happier. That's just how it is. So it's my hobby. The people too are incredible. They're so friendly and open to, conversation and helping you with, like if you don't know what a skill shot is or what the plunge is for something. Everyone's so willing to help. So really, I don't think you should be intimidated to show up to a tournament because for the most part, everyone's going to be very welcoming. And I think very quickly you'll realize that, it's fun, like I said, but because it goes so deep, with the strategies and the rule sets behind the games. And then the tournaments, once you play well in one, and then another, just start qualifying for like big championships, like state and stuff.
Well, because you were invited to go to Germany just recently.
I was. I did not attend. I would have loved to have been there, but it was just.
But that's exciting.
Yeah. Just the fact that I qualified like that, I never would have dreamed that.
So, do you prefer to play in a female league or a male league, or it just doesn't matter to you?
It really doesn't matter. It doesn't. Women's pinball, it has a different feel, compared to, just like open leagues.
How so?
I don't know. Maybe it's more just like women, like being women who they'll like hugging each other and it's more like everyone's like friends kind of thing.
Okay.
Not that everyone's like not friends in like open tournaments. There's like a different feel.
Boy, if you're going to play any game, this is the one that I think has the head for design. We won't worry about the rules or the art.
Okay.
We're just literally going, this is the one you want to play just to see how that flows. Or maybe doesn't flow.
I really like Tron.
So Tron happens to be right next to us, which is very convenient.
It is, but it's actually one of my favorite games. I love games that have so it has the loop and the ramp, and then it has a regular straight on ramp on the left. It has a scoop. I think it has a variety of shots. They're not too crazy though. Still you can look at it, you can understand it, right? There's nothing that's really hidden or confusing that can trip you up as a new player.
If you see a classic, or if you see a modern, if you see a Bali Williams or you see a Gottlieb, what's the one that you go, okay, if it's this game, there's a good possibility I'm in great shape?
So first would probably be classics, all the other classics. I love my modern games, but I think the classics that's where my heart is. I love my classic pinball. So any classic really.
And so when you say classic, you're using the official definition, because for you, anything older than 10 years could be considered a classic. So are we talking all the way down to EMs? Are we talking about solid states? Are we talking about just an early Stern? What's classic?
Probably more like 80s, I'd say. Yeah, like the 80s solid state games. And then along with the classics are probably the 90s Williams Valley Midway games. So that was my statement. Yeah, I really love roller games. As I said, that's one of the first games that I played, so I really love that game. I really love The Shadow, World Cup Soccer, The Getaway. Getaway is actually my favorite game at this time. Fish Tales, all those games. Those are just classics. I really like EMs too. So maybe the easier way to put it is my least favorite games are the modern Sterns.
And why do you think that is?
Honestly, could be a few different things, but one thing is I think the themes, and maybe not so much the themes, but the humor, I think, of the themes. I feel like the Williams, 90s games, they were just, funny, you can play them, and, the characters will, boys and stuff, like they'll talk to you and things like that, and like the Cactus Canyon, like with the bad guys, like just things like that. I like that, you know, it really helps you like connect with the game. I feel like a lot of the modern experience that these are very serious. I mean, maybe not all of them, maybe not all the time. But that's something I know not a lot of people talk about. But I feel like games like today versus like 20, 30 years ago, I like being able to laugh at the games I play and really feel like I'm part of it.
That's very cool. So the last thing we got to talk about for sure is the gloves and the shoes. So the gloves, do they help? What do they do for you?
So the main thing that I wear them for is nudging. So I don't nudge a ton. A lot of people would probably agree. But when I do, I have a fear of like hurting my hands, like when I hit the game. And I have actually a few times that I have nudged before I hit the bugs, right? Like being the machine, and you're like, okay, that actually hurts. So my dad, it was his idea. One day he just like decided to buy some gloves for me, and he's like, here, try these. And I tried them, and I mean, they've been working for me ever since. I don't know.
And then the shoes.
The shoes.
Does it help if you're taller? I mean, what is this? Is it doing something for you, or is it just a fashion statement?
No, it's definitely for play. It helps me see a lot of like the upper play field, especially like on this game. You know, I can see like further back more like the soft sort of targets. And a lot of games that have like that upper play field, like I feel like that's the main reason. It's just being able to see all the way back on the game.
This is brilliant. We are so glad that Disc Grading 2 was able to let you develop into the player that you become. I'm glad that school or pinball, whichever one came first, helped you with your note-taking so that you could become the number one woman in the world playing this sport. I think it's great how you're just showing a whole new face for pinball. And so we just thank you for everything that you're doing. But this is awesome. And I look forward when we finish up this game. I'd like to believe I will win. I haven't won one of our games yet, but we think we can finish up this last one, and I'll cut back on camera. I guarantee you if I win. But otherwise, I really do appreciate it.
It's really fun.
Thanks for joining us here at TiltTrek. We're just so impressed by Disc Grading 2. It is the mecca I thought it would be. That's what you heard from people who were in there. This place builds champions. We met young girls who have basically grown up in this place and have seen how that's influenced their lives. We meet the owner who shows you that if you're telling me you can't do this because of the fact that there's only one of you, he's showing you that you can do it. And this place just reflects that. The great people that we met throughout here, watching everybody here for Tilton Tuesday, it's absolutely amazing. If you're ever up anywhere near Wisconsin, come on up. If you're not anywhere near Wisconsin, come on over. This is a place, it's the place you've got to see. So we're glad to bring it to you on our tour around Lake Michigan. Remember to like this video, comment. We love talking to everybody. And remember to follow us both here on YouTube, but also on Facebook and on our .com at TiltTrek.com. We'll see you all where we head off to next. Thank you all.
Let's go on a road trip with the sun in our face. We have a full tank of gas. We can go any place. North, south, east, west, it doesn't really matter. Leave this town, we can drive forever. It doesn't get any better than this, yeah. Let's go on a road trip. It doesn't get any better than this, yeah. Let's go on a road trip.